Hi. So I had the idea for this video for, I don't know, I think it was 2 years ago. But you know what? I don't know if it's procrastination or just things get around. When you're an adult, you have a lot of things to do, an adult working. Oh, hello. You can't see her, but Yuffie doesn't like when I make too much noise. Yuffie's my cat, by the way. But as I was saying, I had the idea to do this video, which is a video that talks about a bit of nostalgia in video games and certain moments that felt special in video games. And as I said, I had this idea to do this video a long, long time ago. I think it's been 2 years now. I asked some members for the community for some opinions, and I got two members to collab. Thank you so much. I'll mention your words in a couple minutes. But now I would like to finally do it. And I had recorded segments partially. I had a whole schedule to complete the video, but unfortunately I just didn't do it. It got lost behind. It got pushed. It got moved, and I always never found the time to just finish the video. So I got one of those peaks of productivity at like 2 a.m. and I thought, you know what, let's, clean a little bit of the back of the room, and I'll just one take it, which is usually how I do things. I'm not one take it. I have some notes, I'll read, and I will do some cuts, hopefully not too jarring, and we'll get through it. So, I'm sorry that I've been teasing you with this video to everyone that joined the streams and heard me talk about this idea for a while. But now I'll finally do it and we'll talk about it. So I'm super excited to finally get it out there and get everyone's opinions. So I guess this is, I don't know, top, don't know how many games, moments in video games that felt nostalgic and made us, mainly those moments, when you're playing. Remember the old days when um, we weren't attacked with this constant need of gratification. Every 30 seconds you need to be scrolling on your phone or watching something in the background. You need to be constantly surrounded by something and feeling that something is happening, that you're feeling kind of this fake sense of productivity, that you're watching a series on your TV and then you're scrolling through Instagram reels and playing a video game. um, if you remember the old days, like I do, you used to just play the video game. In some moments, you'd like to put the controller down and just enjoy something that you thought was kind of mind blowing about the game, be it the story or the music, whatever it felt like. So I guess this talks about what those moments were to me and a couple members of the community. So yeah, let's get into it. I mean, it's not a surprise that Metal Gear Solid would be in this in this video. I mean, you know that if even if you don't know me, if you know me, it's easier to know this. But if you don't know me, you just saw the name of the channel, so Metal Gear will be here. But yeah, the scene right after Sniper Wolf in the Sniper Wolf 2 area always felt kind of special to me for some reason. As a kid, I used to love just putting the controller down and enjoying the environment on that particular space in the game. I'm pretty sure it was right after defeating Sniper Wolf. Yeah, I just rushed back to the area, check if her corpse was still there for some reason. Kind of morbid, but kind of fun. And I ended up just staying around the area, admiring, the weird snow effects, the all the trees. You could see Liquid's parachute, indicating that he might be still be alive. Hint, hint. You would love, I would still can remember the sound of the wolves and the wind in this area. It felt so, it's like a warm blanket. It felt so nostalgic and so great. It really increased the immersion for me. I really felt that I was in a snowfield area all alone, dealing with the issues of my character. Kind of felt me like it grabbed me in a more personal level, right after school, I remember after those tough days, I would just rush to that area, just soaking it in. The environment just felt like I could be at peace for a couple of minutes, just to escape some more difficult moments in my childhood with my favorite character, and just be there for a while, enjoying the environment. I mean, Pokemon, if we're moving from Metal Gear, Pokemon, especially Pokemon Yellow, was a huge deal for me. On the Game Boy, it was a huge deal for me, more than the Game Boy Color. But yeah, I used to play it a lot as a kid, and every kid in the school like that had the Game Boy Color used to play it. I watched the show on TV. I would never miss an episode. We discuss it in school. That was like Pokemon. I was born during the Pokemon craze. And I remember the fact that I could, as soon as I got the game, the fact that I could start my own adventure with Pokemon was mind blowing. And my parents used to not like me to play after 10 p.m., so I wouldn't oversleep, and miss school. I used to sneak my old Game Boy under the covers with a like a dimly light or some tiny flashlights, and I would play without sound, which is a huge mistake for Pokemon. So I could save on the batteries. And yeah, many years after that, I decided to go back to Pokemon, especially Pokemon Yellow, and try to complete the Pokédex. The nostalgia punch I got when I got outside my, the Pokemon mom's house. As soon as you leave your mom's house in the game, and you hear you hear Pellet's Town theme, it's just got etched into my mind, and it just got that little hit of nostalgia that I start reliving my whole Pokemon journey since I was a kid, and it felt great. Now, moving on to something more recent, so we don't think it's just, old nostalgia, is Hollow Knight, and especially Dirtmouth. Because when you play this game, Dirtmouth is quite possibly, if not the first, one of the first areas you'll encounter. Is a dark, quiet area that doesn't have a lot of people around. And when I started playing Hollow Knight, I was in a weird place with video games. I found myself, playing the same video games over and over again. I wouldn't give new games a chance. I was kind of, the hobby for me was a little bit dying out. And somehow I saw an image of Hollow Knight, and I thought, you know what, let's give it a chance. Let's play it. And I kid you not, the moment I sat down on the bench in Dirtmouth, I knew I was going to love this game. I knew it was going to be for me. I'm a sucker for the sound of the wind, as you can tell from the first iteration. And that mixed with the sad and calm piano that set the tone for the journey I was about to embark in, just pulled me in straight away. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to love this game straight away. Since the first time I sat there, I go back to the bench in Dirtmouth once in a while, and I sit there just taking the ambience in. I did that a couple times, even in the recent times. It's my, I would like to say thank you to Team Cherry for this wonderful piece of art, and I'm begging you on my hands and knees, if I could, please release Silk Song. We need it. It's not a meme, guys. Right? It's gonna happen. Yeah, don't leave me to hang in Dirtmouth in the City of Tears. Come on, I want to play Silk Song. Now, I know this one screams surprise to you. You're like scratching your head, like, what is FIFA Street doing here? Especially the freestyle section. But you know what? If you were born in the country that I'm in, and you're a football fan like I am, as soon as FIFA Street 2 released, Let me tell you, this ain't no ordinary FIFA game. This is FIFA Street 2. Before EA killed it, before EA disappeared from the map in having the football spirit. This is a very simple game about, it's just street football. We just enjoy football as it is. And it kind of translated what it felt like to play as a kid on the streets with your friends. That was the thing. There was you played, even if you played at home by yourself, playing this game felt like you're playing with your mates in the street. It was great. And there was this freestyle mode that was the coolest thing. You'd select your character or a player that you liked, and you had to perform tricks with the ball and to win enough points to unlock trophies. But that's not what it was about for me. It was, I spent countless hours in this mode just actually trying to do these tricks so I could learn them for myself and try to do it to do them in my back garden. And you would enjoy so much. It's to be there flicking the ball up and doing these crazy tricks, enjoying the soundtrack, which, by the way, the soundtrack in FIFA Street 2 is fantastic. So it felt like something amazing to do, even when you're just by yourself, just don't know what to play. Even now, I just feel like booting it up and just doing some freestyle for a little bit. And I stayed here way longer than I had to. I stayed in for hours in the freestyle section just so I could, even learn from the game, learn some tricks from myself, and just enjoying this little weird mode that they created. I wish if only EA could create another FIFA Street this good, it would, honestly, made them it would make them probably my one of my favorite one of my favorite game developers and companies. But that's not gonna happen, let's be honest. Not No one even plays Volta, by the way. Volta is absolute trash, or whatever the mode is anymore. I don't even know. I don't care for EAFC. Now let's return to a little bit of a huge one, huge nostalgia from back in the day, and that is the training graveyard in Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII, one of my favorite games of all time, and it always will be. I will always play it. I will keep playing it. I think it's one of those games that I'm gonna play it until I die. Being completely, being it's a completely new challenge, or just because I miss replaying this game, because I miss interacting with these characters, I think I will always play it. And no matter how many times I do it, once I get out that ladder into the train graveyard, it always makes me stop for a bit. It makes me want to put the controller down and just enjoy it. Because Anxious Hearts, the music that plays, by the way, um, plays a huge part in it. It makes you feel anxious, it makes you feel confused, it makes you feel lost and alone. And then at the end, it has that little ray of hope that just kind of punches you to makes you excited for the journey. But apart from the hope, this is exactly how the area looks like. It looks like a dark place filled with abandoned trains. You see the rubbish everywhere. You see the barrels, and it just goes so well together. I just end up stopping and just enjoying what I'm seeing for a bit and listening, taking it all in, and wondering, only to be interrupted by a stupid random fight. And at the end of it all, you hear the hint of hope again in the music that makes me want to continue playing this game. It motivates me basically to go forward and save the world. Not only in the game, but maybe in life a little bit. Not that I think I can save the world, but maybe I can contribute to it. Now, I promise, last entry from Metal Gear is the blast furnace. Just because this area for me, and I think for everyone that played this game, is iconic. The sound of metal rumbling around, the look of the hot lava, and the sound of the hot steam come from the pipes in the small room that has some grenades and stuff, makes you feel like you're in there, like you're Solid Snake. I remember as a kid feeling like I was feeling the heat in just by being there. I was feeling the nervousness of all that place. It just made me want to wander around and figure out what to do next. But at the same time, I wanted to stay there, enjoy it for a while, just looking at the lava, see if we could throw someone inside the lava, see if I could fall in the lava. That was basically it, and eventually, eventually you fall down, you see that little Terminator Easter egg, and you're kind of blown away by it. Not so much one of those places where I'd put my controller down too much, but one that I really enjoyed, and I still, every time that I play this game, and even when speedrunning, just going through that area feels really well done. It blows my mind how good, how good that area is. Also, to be honest, I do like to throw guards in there and kind of torture them a little bit, okay? And I did that a lot when I was a kid. But honestly, I'm just being completely honest. Does it make me a bad person? I hope it doesn't. I was only a kid, Now I have to still do it, but old habits die hard and all that. Now here's one that is a little bit in the middle. So recently, I think last year, I think it was 2 years ago, I finished Kingdom Hearts 1. You can see the playthrough in the channel. And I had played through it as a kid, but I forgot most of what I experienced back then. It's one of those things that, just skipped my mind. But Dearly Beloved was also, was always in my mind. Like, I couldn't forget Dearly Beloved. It's a song that I still listen to today. It was a clear memory that I have in my brain. And along with that is another clear memory that I have is leaving my PS2 on the title screen just so I could listen to it, even though the simplicity of the menu kind of plays a part in it, I think. And I just, it's a beautiful song, and I used to end my streams on the same screen when I was playing Kingdom Hearts 1 because it would play Dearly Beloved in the PS5 hub. And when I like to hear that when I'm saying my goodbyes to the people that are watching it. This is mainly about the song. I just want to say thank you to the person that created Dearly Beloved. You deserve a place in heaven for that. And I just want to add, will never get tired of that song. So this is one of my, one of the friend entries, and I don't want to butcher her words or say anything wrong, so I wrote it down. But once I had the idea for this video, Amy sent me a message. ThyQueenAmy, by the way, follow her on Twitch, and she mentioned Animal Crossing, one of the early games. And what she said was, when I was playing Animal Crossing during the period I played, I was going through a lot in my teen years, and coming into my town, just relaxing and listening to 8 p.m. still has a monumental meaning for me. It's kind of like that soothing quiet that I was getting in the game that I was not experiencing because I was having a chaotic life. So for me, Animal Crossing was like that warm, soothing blanket that made me feel comfortable. It made me feel accepted a little bit. So yeah, a huge thank you to Amy for sending me the words. I hope I read them correctly. So this one is also from a friend of the stream called NotBen. He's been working with me for a lot of the Solid Loot projects, and he messaged me mentioning a couple of games that he played when he was a kid. And one of them, I'll mention both, but one of them was Chrono Cross. And here's what he said. When I first left town in Chrono Cross after the time warp, the overworld theme is a banger, by the way, and hearing it for the first time froze me in my tracks. This theme screamed, "Forget everything you know about where you were. This isn't it anymore." Made me sit there a few minutes with Sage and Kid taking it all in. So thank you for that. Thank you for letting me know that Chrono Cross has an amazing soundtrack, and I finished Chrono Trigger, so soon enough I'll play Chrono Cross. The other entry, the other game that he mentioned, where he had a similar awesome experience, was Mega Man Battlework 3 Blue. And I'll be honest, never played this game, never played any Mega Man game. So here's what he said. I had this game as a kid, and there was this chapter in where Lan, which is the teenager main protagonist, goes to the hospital and meets this kid named Mamoru. I hope I'm not butchering his name. A kid bound to a wheelchair with some kind of terminal sickness. Lan helps Mamoru find a really rare ship with trading cards used in battles. Of course, it is trading cards. So Mamoru felt complete. What? So Mamoru feels Okay, I can't say. So Mamoru feels comfortable during his surgery coming up. The next day, while Mamoru is under, an evil organization hacks into the hospital system and takes over. Sorry, I had to scratch my nose. The game plays up that Mamoru won't survive it if something isn't done soon. So Lan sends Mega Man into the hospital system to fix it. Ooh, dicey. The entire dungeon, I felt like so rushed to get through it as fast as I could, because if I didn't, Mamoru's could die. I skipped past the treasures in the dungeons. Oh no, why did you do that? I skipped past the treasures in the dungeons, blast through the random encounters, and spent whatever I had. You had to use fire chips to burn through the vines that had taken over to get through and save them. Looking back now as an adult, obviously it was just a plot point and I could have taken my sweet time, but back then I was genuinely worried by Mamoru and wasn't going to make it, and still makes an impression on me. Pretty awesome, huh? I love when games do that sort of stuff. Even though it's a plot point, it makes you care for the characters. So yeah, I love when games bring immersion into it. Let's keep doing that, shall we? And again, similarly to what we talked about with Pokemon Yellow, was the same kind of thing for Pokemon Silver. Me and my cousin used to get, so after we got Pokemon, I got Blue and he got Yellow, and then I got Yellow and he had Red. And we used to trade Pokemon to try and finish the Pokédex, and used to play it a lot. Everyone in my family kind of band together and gave me Silver and gave him Pokemon Pokemon Gold. And we used to play it like we used to meet each other every Sunday and used to play it for hours and try to finish the game as fast as possible. And then we'd go to each other's houses during summer vacations. And yeah, Pokemon Silver was a huge part of my childhood. And especially for some reason, every time I hear the Violet City theme, it kind of makes me think of all that, and puts me right back when I experienced this nostalgia, this great feeling of being your Pokemon adventure and experience all these new Pokemons, and seeing Sizer, which was one of the coolest evolutions I've seen, and having to rediscover how to catch all these Pokemons and doing all these new evolutions. Yeah, that was pretty great, and I kind of miss playing Pokemon Silver. I'm doing a Blue Live Pokédex challenge, but I'm trying to find a challenge to do on Pokemon Silver because I really want to experience it again. Yeah. Now, a little bit more going back to my old days and my recent days is this entry, which is Estogaza from Final Fantasy IX. Dude, honestly, I kind of have an idea why, but at the same time, I have no idea why. I haven't played Final Fantasy IX in years, but I can remember. I can remember this town having a big impact on the story, but what I can remember is the town itself entirely. It was so memorable for me. The whole, this again, it's the music, and as soon as it's the song starts playing, as soon as those piano notes start hitting, I felt this weird sense of peace and relaxation. It's just in the sound of the wind again. It's another, well used environment sound that makes me miss this place. It's the vibe of the whole place that makes me enjoy it. I definitely remember putting the controller down and just staying there for a bit, taking it all in. The room, I remember this room with all the candles. It was really dope, and I'd always go there to see it. That's it. I wish this was a real place that I could visit. That's how good it looked. It's so good. It's so interesting, dude. I got so just thinking about it here, and while I'm discussing it, makes me really, really excited to play Final Fantasy IX again, just so I can go to Estogaza. Honestly. Now, if Dirtmouth was the initiation of this game and made me love it, City of Tears was just the one that blew it out of the park. And I knew it was going to be one of my favorites. Well, actually, that happened earlier with Green Path. But yeah, this place is just tremendous. I cannot describe it accurately. Like, if you haven't played it, you need to grab a copy of Hollow Knight and just go play until you get to the City of Tears. The music, the rain, the statue, the way the water slides down the glass. It's just the street lamps. It's really well done environments, and it don't need it just goes to show that it doesn't need to have realistic graphics to put you in the moment in the game and put you make you feel part of the world. This game does that really, really well. That I can't express it through words. I can convey how good and how great this place looks and feels. To me, at least. You might have a different experience, but just watch and enjoy, and then do yourself a favor, play it, and see if you feel the same way that I feel. I just like to throw in a couple of other game moments that made me feel this way, but I don't feel like going to explore because I don't want to make this video, sorry, too long. Any scene or any moment in Gris, the whole game is just, I need to do a separate video just talking about Gris or analyzing how great everything in that game is. Um, Final Fantasy VI world map was also pretty awesome, especially after something happens and everything changes. Another world map that felt great to roam around, even though people say it was pretty lackluster, was Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. I'm not putting it in because I told you I wasn't gonna put any more Metal Gear. I heard a lot of people in discussion on my streams that mentioned Besaid Island in Final Fantasy X was one of those. And you could also say pretty much any moment that you open the photo mode in Horizon Forbidden West. And yeah, you're done. you know, last but not definitely not the least, you knew this was gonna be here if you know me, is Cosmo Canyon. Everything about this place is amazing. You know, the song is probably, if not the best, one of the best songs in the whole soundtrack. Red 13, one of my favorite characters. The whole display of the village, again, just makes you believe that you are part of that, that you are there. Like it kind of pulls you in. I know that I keep repeating these things, but I think it's impressive when a game, especially a game that's so old, makes you feel like that even today. And you know, there's no shame in saying that, and especially no shame to say that when I was a kid, I enjoyed the song so much that I used to, go, especially when there's the little campfire. I used to just leave my character there, put down the controller, and just let Cloud enjoy the Cosmo Canyon soundtrack, and I would enjoy it with him around that campfire, and it felt like a really, really special moment. And I think I should go do that right now just to relive a special moment. I'm pretty sure I have a save in this in Cosmo Canyon just to do that even now, because it's such a nostalgia trip, and it makes me feel like I'm not 30 plus anymore. Well, and that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I know I probably didn't expose everything the way I wanted to. I just felt this rush of productivity, and I thought I'd take advantage of it and just get it, finally done with. I would like to say thank you to everyone that's been watching my videos and been watching my streams. I really appreciate that everyone that shows up and engages in conversation. I know it's really special to me that people spend their time even with my videos or during my streams. I really appreciate when everyone has their feedback, when they are honest and constructive. I think that's the most precious thing you can have if you do this sort of thing for fun. Let me know if you have any moments that made you feel like that, any moments that felt special and they still feel special in video games. Anything that comes to mind, in everything you want to comment about this video. Like if you don't like the format, if you don't like what I said, if you think I said some things too many times, if you don't like the fact that I'm doing this in one take and trying to get it over with. But it's been 2 years. I had to release this idea to the world. Maybe I am overthinking and maybe I should written a script, but let me know what you think. Give me some pointers. I'm asking for some advice. And I think it's just easy to find excuses to not to do something. So I rather just do it and do it wrong and then learn from my mistakes. And hopefully this is part of experience that I need to keep doing things better and actually make this entertaining. I probably should have made more jokes to make this a little bit more watchable. But yeah, then again, click like, subscribe, click like if you liked it only. Subscribe to the channel, join my Discord, the link's in description. You can catch me live on twitch.tv/solidsnake or 5all5snake because I have fives instead of s's. The link is also in description if you want to do so. I usually play, any sort of video games that I feel like. And that's it. I stream from time to time, by the way. I don't have a schedule because I suck at keeping schedules. I'll see you in the next one. I love you. Peace out.